Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball. This is episode number 15, and we are entering season number 3. We're going to wrap up our spring coverage real quick before we hit opening day. Now, in terms of changes, since we left off last episode early, just a few games into spring training, I've only made one trade and have picked up 0 players on the waiver wire so far, amazingly. There was plenty of really solid options on the major league waiver wire, but the championship has access to that one, and we have very limited access. I think only certain player types, certain player scenarios are permissible for that one. Championship is where we have our waiver wire for the most part, but the championship always has priority on all those major league ones, and they got them. We did not. And the championship waiver wire was really weak this season compared to previous seasons. Therefore, 0 pickups thus far, though I'm sure that will change down the road. But here's how our preseason looked. By the way, that one trade that I made, 2 relievers, as I had 30 and we need 26 on the opening day roster. So I took 2 relievers that were the weakest 2 relievers that we had in the mix and swapped them for a prospect, young outfield prospect, current 2-star, potential 3-star ability. So that was a good turnaround on a minor league contract for that one as well. Our preseason went pretty well. 21-7 in the preseason for our team. Is that a sign of anything to come? In the International League, no team is looking dominant. Brooklyn and Monterey both picked to win 76 games this season. On the losing side, the worst is Winnipeg at 61-74. So pretty neutral, not much between the teams in the International League. Predictions on the Professional League: Charlotte 74 wins, Irving 74 wins, and Chandler 76. They have us at 67-69 this season, prediction-wise. Runs, 610. That's a huge improvement. In fact, that would be second in the division. That would be third? That would be third in the entire conference, in the whole professional league. Batting average, 258 is where we're predicted. That's definitely a huge climb from where we were. I think we hit like 235 and then 240 last season. So 258 is a massive jump. Home runs at 133. That's still only 4th in the division, but you can compare that to the next division above us, and that's better than everybody. And we're looking at second best compared to the top division there, the East Division. Stolen bases, predicted to finish 1st in the league. Runs against, still a bit of an issue for us. 606 is the lowest worst in the division and 2nd worst overall. So our pitching staff needs some work. Expected ERA at 4.1. in the predictions, again 2nd worst, which means I might be in for some moves sooner rather than later. I do have a couple of starting pitchers in AAA that I think are ready to go. I have plenty of room and intentionally kept room on my 40-man roster for waiver wire players, but we haven't picked them up so far. So I'm strongly considering waiting a couple of weeks into the season, seeing what we get waiver wire wise, and if we're not suddenly adding players and filling up towards that 40-man roster, then I'm going to take a couple of those guys in AAA and find who's struggling among my starting staff and start to give them a chance, because I have a couple that are pretty dang close to ready, and probably an upgrade on guys that I have right now. They're just not on major league contracts, and I didn't want to waste the roster spot if we were going to be picking up options through through that waiver wire, which just so far has not happened. In terms of walks, 399 is not good, but it's about 10th, 8th to 10th. It's almost average at 399, so that part's not too bad, but it does look, even though we should get a fair bit of strikeouts, it does look like we're going to give up runs a little too easy. So finding who's struggling and bringing those guys up, if we don't find waiver wire players, is probably the way to go. And I would think that could, give us another 5 wins or so as we go on, and probably get us over 500 this season. Now, one thing that's not available to me now that I'm on to opening day is the wins above replacement roster showcase. But I had looked at it, and last time I looked at it, we were about 4.5 wins above replacement better than a year ago. So we should have about 5 wins more than we had a year ago based on that as a factor. And that was good enough for about 5th overall compared to everybody else. The huge decline that we saw from season 1 to season 2, where all these teams couldn't afford to hang on to the key players that they had, that massive drop that brought everybody down. Now, of course, we thought we should have done better last season than we ultimately did. This season, though, I really strongly believe that we should be better than we were a year ago, and the preseason predictions still had us pretty low last year. This year around, if we're about 500, I think that's going to be a huge step in the right direction. Of course, we are still looking forward to a 2 months from now draft that could see us improve significantly and immediately like we did last time around. Anyway, our opening day against Charlotte, you could see how our team is a bit stronger. Yes, their starting pitcher Lewicki is a 3-star guy, and Bukowskis is only 2.5, and I only have one 3-star guy, and he's barely a 3-star guy, but it's all 2.5 stars otherwise. But that's why I said I have those couple of pitchers kind of waiting to go. That's our one maybe weaker area at the moment. But now with Hudson and LeBoy and McCormick all in the lineup, Yerzy, a 3-star guy, is all the way down hitting number 8. That's where I think we've really progressed. We don't have a weak spot in the lineup like we had before, and where we only had a couple good batters and then we had a bunch of guys that were just okay a season ago. We've definitely reshaped that lineup now, where Ibarra is going to hit way better than anybody we had last season. Hudson's going to hit way better than we had last season. Plus, with that gap power, he's gonna do a bit, you would think. Seth Beer, LeBoy are joining Luke Raley, where Luke Raley was kind of the only stronger hitter we had. Luke Williams was a middle of the lineup guy for us a year ago, and Kyle Holder was a key piece. I think they were hitting like 4th and 5th. Now they're hitting 7th and 9th in the lineup, where Luke Raley has been bumped out of that 3 spot down to a 5 spot. So we have completely reshaped the top end, the core of the lineup. And then McCormick, who we initially put as like a 4 guy and then bumped down to 6, is now, hopefully going to be more reliable as a 6 hitter. Also, there's a couple switch hitters where I had none before. We have a bit more lefties and righties, but we also have some balance to our lineup. I think this lineup's going to be a lot more capable than a year ago. And remember, last year it was the pitching staff, which is largely the same to open the season, that had gone from 15th up to about 10th best. And then it was our batting that was 13th with two all-stars and then a bunch of really bad guys otherwise that we traded them, and then suddenly we were 15th. And last year we had steadied the bottom line, right? We brought that bottom line up, but it was low enough that we still ended up being 15th best hitting the ball. Barely, where it was clearly the year before, but we were still 15th best. I think we've made enough progress now that we have an above average lineup. I think we should be somewhere between, 5 and 7 now, or maybe even 3 and 7. And that pitching staff, if it is 10th best, 9th best, if we make those couple of changes in a couple of weeks, 1 or 2 changes anyway, if that can get us up to about 7th, and if we are hitting around 2nd or 3rd, 4th best, then we could be having ourselves a fairly good season. Maybe not enough to get promoted, but my oh my, what a turnaround that would be from where we were. But you know what? Let's play some ball. All right, so it's opening day, and the first pitch there to Ibarra, and he strikes out to open the season. Not the start you would hope for, but one at bat is just that. It's one at bat. There's going to be hundreds of them per batter, per guy, as Lewicki has already notched 2 Ks to get this game started. But that one's going to be in play, and that's going to drop fair. That left fielder, I feel like he could have done more to get to that one, but he goes for the safe approach, pulls up, gets it in play, and with a pop out here. No damage done in the first inning, but we do get our first hit of the season. And that was, no, it was not Hudson. Hudson struck out in his first at bat for us. Bukowskis right off the bat. Not the start we would hope for there, as he hits the batter and gives him the free pass. This one, slides through Hudson there at second base, and they're going to turn and get runners on the corner with nobody out here in the first. Not the start we would hope for at all. This one, infield fly. There's an easy out. This one's going to get a lot deeper. It should be a catch, but that's going to score a run. The throw to the plate. And he is safe. Easily beats it, as I expected. But at least we're in a 2-out scenario. And right now, we should get out of this inning, hopefully, with just the 1 run. But a walk there puts a runner into scoring position and takes this situation, makes it a little more dangerous. That's going to get through, too. Hopefully we... Hey, cutoff. Hit the cutoff. Wow, that throw came so late. Are you kidding me? It was a terrible play for right field. That ball should have been coming in 2 to 3 seconds sooner. And should have been in time to make a throw out there. You got enough arm there in right field. That's an out. So that allows to a little more bleeding than expected. It goes from a small cut to more of a solid wound. That's 2 runs in the first. And right off the bat here in the top of the second, we already add another K to the account for Lewicki. Not looking good in the early stages of this one. This is going to drop fair, but does the left fielder have enough time to get underneath it? He does. I was thinking that would drop a lot sooner than it did, and that would at least give us a single, if not a double, on that one. We do get on with a walk, so we at least had runners on base in both of the first 2 innings, but not the outcome we wanted at all through these first inning and a half anyway. All right, we get out of the second with no danger, out of the third with no danger. Bottom of the third is no danger, and we are just going until there's runners in scoring position, so it's going half inning at a time. There was no runner in scoring position here. That must have been a runner on first and a 2-run homer here. That is Raley. Luke Raley has hit the 2-run homer to level the score at 2. McCormick now at bat. And that's it for that inning. Bottom of the fourth now. We've got a runner in scoring position there and drive that ball deep down the line. Right fielder cannot grab it, and that's going to score another. Still top of the fourth, are we? That's a triple. That is a triple, almost a stand-up triple And we have turned that into a score because we did have a runner in scoring position on that one. And yeah, there you go. It's 3-2. Yerzy is going to strike out to end the inning, or is that the second out? That's the second out. Still a runner on third. Now it's Holder at the plate. His second time to the plate, and he has struck out. That ends the inning, but not before we bring in 3 runs to grab ourselves a lead now, 3-2. Still just 2 hits for Charlotte at this point. That's only 1 hit since the first inning. So Bukowski's doing much better over the last couple of innings. Let's take a 1 at bat at a time here. Strikeout there. It's a walk. Huh. It says wider. Looked right down the middle. Oh, pass ball. A wild pitch or a pass ball? It's a wild pitch. The difference between a wild pitch and a pass ball is who's to blame. A wild pitch means the pitcher misses the target and it's an uncatchable ball. It's a wild throw. A passed ball is a catchable ball that the catcher missed. So it's who's to blame. Wild pitch is the pitcher, pass ball is the catcher. Wow. With that arm, Ibarra did that with that arm. That's disappointing. That puts a runner at second. Just 1 out. This one's going to get hit a long ways, but we make the out. And thanks to it being in left center, no chance for the runner to advance. That's going to be driven hard, but the out is made, and that's going to end the inning. We make quick work of the 5th inning, now into the 6th. Another 2-run home run situation. It's Yerzy this time. Presumably that's Williams. Could have been McCormick, because I don't know who scored. But yeah, that's a 2-run homer from Yerzy this time. That's the 2nd time in this game already we've had a runner on first, which was not runners in scoring position. Scoring position is 2nd or 3rd. That we've been able to turn that into runs. So now 5-2, 3-run lead heading into the 6th inning. Bukowski's still on the mound. And this is still the bottom of the 6th. They now have a runner on first and second. And still nobody out. Strikeout there. That's an important strikeout. Trying to protect a 3-run lead. It's okay if they get a run here, but what you want to avoid is a big inning. You want to avoid the 2, 3, 4 runs. So you don't worry as much about this guy. You worry more about this guy, stopping him from advancing at this point in time. Getting that first out now puts you in a situation where a double play can get you out of the inning. Short pop-up. That will be caught. That's the 2nd out. Too shallow, so the runners can't advance. That's now perfect scenario. We could maybe get out of this inning with no damage. It is helping that it's the 8-hitter up right now. Capote is 65 on contact. Not much of a hitter otherwise. It's going to get a piece of that one, but it's going to hang up there just long enough. Very much a repeat of the previous batter. Hits it right about to the same spot, and we get out of the inning. Runners in scoring position with nobody out and give up no runs. It does appear that both of those were walks, as they get nobody adding to their hit total. Hudson up to the plate. See how he does with his at-bat. Drives that one hard and low. That's going to get through that infield fairly often, but it does not on this occasion. Especially with a 50-55 on the defense and a 50-45 out here. Hitting that ball this direction is going to get you some good opportunities. This direction's going to field that ball a bit more often. Seth Beer at the plate. Top of the 7th here. Drives that one through the right-hand side. The more difficult side to get a hit through, but he does get the hit. One out. LeBoy now to the plate. No hits yet for him. Beer, by the way. 3 for 4 in the game. That's going to be a double play. Easily out of the inning. Can't see him, but there is a runner on third base. First and third, and nobody out. Bukowskis has been subbed out. Aaron Pinto is now up. He's already pitched an inning, had a walk and a hit. So that's how these two guys got on. Assuming that there's somebody at third. That was the walk. There was your hit. Brought him from first to third. Low drive. Hey, you've got all day to turn 2. The reason why you go to second, you have a 5-2 lead, okay? You're up by 3 runs. When you're up by 2 runs, there's not much danger, right? The difference between 3 runs and 2 runs. So you let that guy from third score because you know that you could turn 2. If you throw home, you're getting that guy out trying to score, but then you still have a guy on first and second, and there's a chance you don't throw him out at home. There's a chance you don't make that play. So the safe thing to do is throw to second, get the lead, the force at second. The guy from first has to proceed to second base. You get the force out, but then you throw it right back to first. And you turn 2. You make 2 outs instead of 1. You let a run in, but you make 2 outs. You clear the bases, you have 2 outs, and you're still up by 2. Not throw the ball to the shortstop covering second base and then stand there for freaking ever and do nothing. Ball 4. Now there's runners on first and second again, and only 1 out. Pinto not doing well at the moment. Already low on the stamina. This one's driven high and hard. It should be caught. It is. It's in the gap though, and no chance for them to advance. I was a little surprised that they didn't attempt to get to third on that one, but that's why. No speed. He was a little bit faster, they probably would have gone. At the plate, decent contact hitter, plenty of power. With that kind of power, this number 5 hitter could give them the lead with 1 swing of the bat. Up, Pinto has been replaced. It's now Francisco Perez. Better option at this point for us. This is one of our setup guys. Perez coming in to start that process. And he's going to induce the pop-up here for the 3rd out. We get out with just that 1 run scored. This inning would have been a lot easier had we turned that double play. Top of the 8th, runners on first and second, 1 out. Jose Rivera is at the plate. This is our backup shortstop. No, all I can do is continue. Okay, we'll let it play out. Well, that gives you 2 outs. Swing away, swing away. Thinking about advancing the runner with a bunt. Kyle Holder now comes to the plate. 2 outs. He's going to strike out as well. It's the bottom of the lineup. In that situation, you look for the security of one more run. But we can't get it. Perez still on the plate. On the mound, that is. And it's the bottom of the 8th. Charlotte down to 6 outs to work with. And they're going to open their case here in the bottom of the 8th strongly with a double that got to the fence. Hard ball hitting the gap. Throw was not in time as he got in safely to second. And that's going to drop safely as well. That'll score a run. And still nobody out with runner on first, and we now have a 1-run game. Oh, on a walk. Come on. Come on. Perez still on the mound, surprisingly. Sure you don't want to go to your 8th inning setup guy? Perez is struggling. Double play. Oh, no! Take the double play! Holy crap, man. Take the double play. Jeez. Are they allergic to double plays? That's a double play situation all day, every day. That's a double play in teenager ball. Just 1 out. Especially with a 1-run lead. You don't sacrifice runs now. You take the force. Or you take the double play. Perez still on the mound. That's driven hard down the line. Thought he should have gotten that ball, but he doesn't. That's going to drop fair. This is going to tie the game up and probably give them the lead. It does. They scored 2. And we now trail. Perez now sitting with an L potentially next to his name. Nebel on the mound now instead of Perez. 2-out situation. Can he make the play here? Righty to righty. Induces the pop-up. That'll get us out of the inning. But the damage is done. We give up 3 big ones. It's 6-5. Charlotte in the lead in the season opening game. And we're down to just 3 outs to try to battle back. The good news, top of the lineup. Ibarra at the plate. Hitless today. Oh, and he hit that hard. Shortstop makes the stop, but the first baseman makes the error. Nope. Apparently it was the throw. The throw was falling away. Oh, bad throw. So it looked more like it was on the first baseman, but it was on the shortstop apparently. Ibarra has the speed, has the steal capability. You would very much want that here. Pantoja, pinch hitting. Really? Well, oh, they already subbed him. This already happened a while ago, I think. I just hadn't noticed. This is absolutely a bunt situation. If I were him, I would bunt for the hit instead of the sack bunt, because he's really good at it. Try to get on that way. Guarantee the advancement of the runner and see if you can also get there without giving us an out while you're at it. There is the attempt on the bunt. Foul ball. Now it's 2 strikes. I would still go for it. I would just go for the sack bunt. He swings away instead and gets the 3rd out. And Deja Peeler has already subbed on. What is going on? We just took out our two of our best players. Wow, called strike 3. And we're down to our final out. LaBoy, 60 power, really good contact. We don't need a homer here, but he could give us the lead with it. I'd rather have a deep, hard ball down the gap. And he's going to go slice that away. The throw is high, but it's caught. And that's the third out. And we go from something comfortable to not so comfortable thanks to the relievers. And we lose our first game of the season, but it's only one game. And we certainly showed what we were capable of through most of that game. 9 hits. They only had 6. They got 6 runs off of just 6 hits. But they also had 8 walks. We had just 2. And there is Bukowskis and his weakness. He only gave up 6 hits, but he and the relievers gave up 8 walks combined. Meanwhile, we struck out 14 times. They struck out just 6. The left on base thing, they left 23 on base. We left 16. So we hit the ball, and we hit the ball a long way twice, but our pitching staff let us down. Bukowskis, just 2 hits, but 5 walks that he gave up. 1 per inning. Pinto, Perez, both struggling. Blown save for Perez, and the loss, yeah. So unless we see a big change in the waiver wire, which I'm absolutely going to keep an eye on for the next 2 weeks, I want to push forward 2 weeks into the season just to get a little ways in and see how the team fares. So here's good news. We've been playing 500 ball to begin the season. We were 6-6. We started off 0-2. We've never been more than 2 games above or below 500 so far this season. We were 6-6 recently, and we've won the last 2. So that puts us at 8-6 at the moment. So we are just above 500. But like I said, we've been just fluctuating steadily between that. It's early. We're 14 games into the season right now. Nothing special, but right now we're very much in the mix. We've had this good solid start to the season, and I'm impressed with how the team is doing. So before I get into anything else, what I want to do is, first off, the waiver wire. Still haven't picked anybody up there, and I actually have a spot on our roster right now. Instead of 26, we're at 25 right now. Talton, one of the relievers that's been with us since that first season, picked up a rotator cuff injury that's leaving him out for probably the entire or most of the season. And so we do have a vacancy, but I've attempted to pick up a couple guys, but we just can't get them on that off that waiver wire. We're just not high enough on the priority list, so we have missed out on them so far. But I'm definitely looking to fill it through those means currently, as I think we have enough guys with 25 right now. That's been the standard for ages. 25 going to 26 is a recent thing anyway. So I think we're fine as we are. But I'm going to take that first look and see how the starters are doing. We do have a minor injury for one of them that's going to see them miss 1 to 2 starts. And that could be enough to flip things the other direction and make a move on bringing one of those guys up from AAA. But I don't know when or where we have weaknesses right now until I actually evaluate that, and I've not done so, but I want to do that to start the next episode. Main point at the moment, though, is so far so good. We are no longer the worst team out there. I think we've very much, or so far very much, look like the team we are predicted to be this season, which is a team somewhere around that 500 mark. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.